let us acknowledge that those who look after our wildlife deserve special mention for all that they do. The living heroes as feted today consist of brave men and women who protect our wildlife and need to be continuously supported. To the families of the fallen heroes represented here today, mere words are inadequate to express the gratitude we feel towards our conservation heroes. Nevertheless, Kenya thanks you, the world thanks you, our wildlife thanks you. Kenya is a home rich to an array of wildlife and habitats, and I want to thank the staff of the Kenya Wildlife Service for your dedication to ensure the protection and conservation of this national heritage. Kenya's unique wildlife species places our country in an enviable position amongst other nations. This is pivotal to the country's tourism industry that attracts upwards of 1 million tourists annually, ranking Kenya among the world's top wildlife destinations. This natural capital contributes an estimated 120 billion shillings to the Kenyan economy through tourism. The government is committed to the sustainable management of Kenya's wildlife resources in order to contribute to the country's development and enhance the livelihoods of our people. This commitment is embedded in the National Wildlife Strategy 2030, which outlines a vision for wildlife conservation as part of a strong environmental foundation for achieving Kenya's sustainable development agenda. It is also aligned with Kenya's Vision 2030 and the government's Big Four agenda. And the government will continue to make deliberate efforts to ensure that the immense values that we derive from our wildlife trickles down to the communities in which we live, which bear the biggest brunt of coexistence with wildlife. Our people must play an inclusive role in wildlife stewardship and invest in nature-based enterprises to reap sustainable benefits from our wildlife heritage. Over the past several decades, there has been an alarming downturn in wildlife population in Kenya and the world at large, caused by a combination of factors such as human population explosion, land use change, poaching, habitat loss, and climate change, among others. Kenya must protect her invaluable natural resources because our sustainable development depends on its survival. I'm proud to announce today that this effort has led to over a 90% reduction in rhino poaching in Kenya in the last 5 years. It is because of the constant sacrifices of the men and women keeping vigil over our wildlife that we are not only reducing the popularity of wildlife trophies in their core markets, but also gradually enlightening the world about the importance of preserving our unique flora and fauna for future generations to enjoy. It's not surprising, therefore, that the recent Global Rangers survey conducted early this year showed that over 95% of our rangers are very proud of their work protecting wildlife heritage, despite working over 8 hours in some of the most difficult terrains and the most remote places in Kenya. Even with this sacrifice, these brave men and women still continue to be committed to their call of duty. Yet the war on poaching will not be won if the countries that drive the demand for these products do not shut the markets. We therefore call upon the international community to prevail upon the countries driving trophy demand globally to shut them down.